Hey everyone, welcome back to my Pokemon curry series where I make a curry based off of the gym leaders in Pokemon Sword and Shield. For this curry, we're taking on Nessa from the Hulbury gym, or is it Hulbury? I don't know. It could be hull, like a hull of a ship. So anyways, Nessa is the leader of the water gym, so obviously I have to do a kind of seafood curry. And because this gym leader's look is particularly stylish and elegant, I felt like I had to do a really nice plating for this curry as well. So I went with a red cabbage and coconut milk base for this curry. I did this for two reasons. The first reason is red cabbage is really mild, so it really does a good job in showing off the spices that you put in there. And second, because red cabbage is a natural source of blue food coloring, we can use acids and alkalines to change its look. And if you know what you're doing, you can get a really nice blue out of it. For the rice, besides rinsing it, which you should always do, I'm gonna prepare it with some spirulina powder. The spirulina itself is a really nice shade of natural green, and it's got this really deep algae flavor, which kind of just reminds me of the sea, which again is perfect for this theme. Do be careful because it tends to gel up your water quite a bit. So when you're making this on the stovetop, be very careful in preparing your rice so that it doesn't burn on the bottom. Now to turn the cabbage into our curry base, we're gonna need to blend it with the coconut milk that it had been stewing in. Just cook it really well and really soft, and then put it in the blender and blitz till smooth. This is how we're gonna turn it blue. We're gonna use baking soda to increase the alkalinity of the red cabbage. Use very little at a time. The smell will become overpowering really quickly. I think I did like half a teaspoon at a time. Another thing you have to be careful about is the fact that you can't taste the fact that there's too much baking soda in here until you add salt to your curry. Because of the spices that we're using and the fact that we're using cabbage, it's gonna be on the sweeter side. For the spices, we're gonna go with cumin, fennel, coriander, black pepper, curry leaves, and mustard seeds. And pretty much any source of salt in this dish is gonna come from the things that we add to the curry itself. Now to activate the curry powder, we're going to use coconut oil and just frying the curry powder before adding the blue puree. Give it a good stir and let all the flavors incorporate. Add your little bit of salt and then set it aside on warm so that it can absorb all the flavors of those spices. Now, I had made this recipe before, and the original time that I do this, I actually used deep-fried soft-shell turtle, but they didn't have any at the store, so I went with another thing that had shells. I went with oysters. I bought a dozen oysters, and I shucked them, and we're going to deep-fry. This knife is called Young Shucky, by the way. He is hands down my cutest knife. When choosing your oysters for deep-fried oysters, I would rather go with Pacific oysters. They are easier to open, and they are bigger so that there is more to fry because they will shrink in the fryer. The second protein that we're going to prepare is butterfish. These are fish that you actually fry completely whole, but you do have to clean them out first. You can ask your fishmonger to do it, but because they're so small, I think it annoys them, and it's not that hard to do it yourself. Basically, you just use the scissors to cut a hole in the bottom, take out all its guts, and then you cut out all the gills. For the dry batter for the oysters, I just use sweet potato starch with salt and white pepper. It does not take very long to fry at all, but I did put them through a double fry so that they would be really, really crispy. I deep fry my woks all the time. If you deep fry anything in cast iron or carbon steel, it just seasons them really well and it just makes them really happy. And with the butterfish, you just take the whole thing in the fryer. Because of the way it is, it's really easy to eat with your hands. The bones are soft and big, so it's easy to separate. Kind of attack them like you're eating a chicken wing. The meat is super soft and tender, and all it needs is just a little bit of salt, and it's got so much flavor. Oh my god, excuse me, Jesus. Now again, for the plating itself, I wanted to keep it stylish and elegant, kind of like the gym leader herself. Taking a cue off of the water cannon move, I did a swoop of the blue curry along the side of the bowl, and then I added the green spirulina rice, and then on top and alongside that, I added pieces of butterfish and the fried oysters. As far as how it tastes, the fried oysters were delicious. They were almost like sweet and briny, and then the fish itself, it's called a butterfish. It tasted really buttery. And the curry was on the sweeter side, so it provided a nice herbal balance to all of the saltiness from the fried foods. And the rice itself just tasted straight up like the ocean. So cool. As usual, recipe is in the description. Thanks for checking me out. I'll see you next time. Don't forget to click and subscribe, and you can always find me on TikTok and Instagram.